right, hello, welcome, welcome. Hope all is well. This is Courtney Rollins with the Life in Transitions YouTube channel, Facebook group, and I am also live on Instagram. Shout out to StreamYard. It gives me the opportunity to connect with so many people across different platforms. Today, we are looking at something very close to my heart. As you may know, with the State Pro Service, I'm helping families make the probate process easier, and it's one of the ways that I give value and add value to the marketplace. And it's also one of the ways that I find properties that I either invest in or end up wholesaling. One of the hats I wear is a cash buyer. That's quite often a great solution for folks who are trying to trade speed, convenience, or address challenges that comes up quite often when someone's dealing with an estate. But there's a wide range of reasons that people want to sell their property quickly for cash. Perhaps it's there's a troubled tenant in there and you're just tired of dealing with it. Perhaps you live too far out of town. Maybe it needs so much work and so much love that it wouldn't sell traditionally with a traditional market. Many other reasons than just that. But today I wanted to just provide some, I say warnings, but some cautions, some options for folks to think about when they are selling to cash buyers. Cash buyers are amazing folks. I'm one of them. So uh, this is an amazing resource and value that we bring to spaces. And just like every situation, there can be some either bad players or things that you need to consider if you find yourself working with a cash buyer. So let's just look at a few things to think about, and we'll go from there. All right. So number one, the price. Now, please note that a cash buyer quite often is going to want the property at a price is less than market value, unless there's certain terms set up where it's still favorable for everyone involved. I mean, that's one of the main reasons that a cash buyer, you make your money on the purchase at the time of buying. And so hopefully that cash buyer is providing so much service, so much value to you that they are granted that price. But just know that the price is quite often going to be lower than the market value. Again, there are some creative things that people can do to be able to make a secure a purchase price that's of market value or sometimes above, but that's usually in the creative world and that doesn't fit everyone's criteria. So just be aware of that and know that. And then you just have to decide for yourself whether or not the value they're bringing with the speed and hopefully convenience of the sale, which is usually the two big, huge things for folks, is worth it to you. But that's on a probate, I'm not probate, but property by property basis, the price. Also, the inspection contingency. There is time, or for instance, once we get a property under contract, we begin to pre-market immediately. I'm showing it to other buyers, to other potential folks, partners who can work in there, and sometimes we may come uncover some things during that inspection that just makes the property no longer profitable at the contracted price. Um, and so there usually, when you're talking to a cash buyer, is an inspection period. Even though we're quite often taking these properties as is, there still needs to be time for us to get in there and like dig deeper. Like my job is to talk to people and solve problems, but I don't. I mean, I'm not a home inspector, so I will either hire someone out or work with contractors who can do that job for us. And some things come up, and so just know that there's inspection contingencies that's quite often in there. But what you don't want or don't need is a inspection contingency that's ridiculous. Like I can like if it's a house, a 7-10 day inspection contingency should be pretty normal for most folks. But there are outliers and other situations where you need longer inspection contingencies. There are times, even on the other end, where you can say, hey, no, you need to take this as is. Once you see it, we don't need any more inspections. And there are times where that's afforded. But no, back to number one, the price may need to go change because that's one thing to consider. Um, that they didn't get a full inspection, so there may be some things they need to consider and have buffered in their price that they're able to offer. So just expect that there will be an inspection contingency as far as inspection period, but no, it should not be super long. Now, land, sometimes you can have inspection contingencies of several months because land and development takes time to have conversations with other folks, and that can often when you're talking to the county and to the city officials can delay some things. So it's land, every property is different. All right. earnest money. For a property or for a contract to be valid, there has to be some vested interest, and that is usually monetary interest, whether it's $1, $100, $1,000. Please make sure that the buyer has set an earnest money that you're comfortable with, and that actually gets deposited into the closing attorney or the title company, depending on what state you're using. Now, if you're a cash buyer like me, I may sometimes put a lower earnest money deposit than a traditional buyer because I'm also putting out and buying a lot of property each month, um, and so if we're putting all our money towards one or two or three contracts, then that money can be depleted. So quite often, my deposit may be a little lower, but there are times where if a property owner or seller is not comfortable with that and they are more comfortable with a higher earnest money deposit, then we'll uh, we'll do that as well. But make sure the most important thing is that there is some type of earnest money that is in the contract. For it to be a valid contract, there has to be some type of vested interest, and that usually is money. All right. And then one other thing to think about the timeline. Make sure that there is a time that they say they're going to close, whether it's a 20 days from the signing of this contract or a specific date. Make sure that they have that timeline there. Things do happen during the escrow title period where title may require more information and it may extend the time. Or I know in Baltimore City, once COVID hit, that seemed like the excuse for all of Baltimore City. Hey, we're not able to get these lien certificates back, which grants shows how clean the title is as far as liens are concerned. They're taking too much time, and I still think I got my Baltimore accent too much time. But anyways, so just make sure that you're thinking about that closing timeline and make sure that it's in the contract. So those are just four things to consider and think about. Now, if you're going with a cash buyer like me or any other awesome cash buyer out there, they should be able to give you ease and convenience, right? They should be able to offer that to you. They're solving issues, they're solving challenges, and they're solving problems for that discounted price. They should also be able to give you a certainty of sale if you need to look at their proof of income, which well, yeah, that or their history is more likely. Looking at their reviews, looking at their web presence, talking to people, seeing how they treat folks. That should play a long part. And that's one thing that people should be able to provide to you. And they should not be harassing you. You shouldn't feel pressured. We can't convince anyone to sell a property to you or sell it at a discount. All that we should be able to do is help you paint the vision of the challenges that you may be facing, and hopefully we fit in that solution for that future or that present. All right. Now, if you do have property in North Carolina, or really anywhere across the nation, I have connections with different folks that I can uh, connect you with. But particularly if you're in North Carolina, feel free to give us a call, 443-990-1687. That's Courtney Rollins at Estate Pro Service. Go to the website as well. Check out the YouTube channel, Life and Transitions Experts. Provides tons of resources out there for folks, particularly in the probate and estate planning space and in the real estate world. And would love to be a part of your journey. This is the Life in Transitions YouTube channel. That's LITE. Let your light shine. Cheers.